So this is my Triumph Daytona 660. So this is a 2025. I've been riding it for 3 months. I gotta clean it. It looks like shit right now. I've been using it as a daily commuter every single day, going to work and using it to travel up to Sarasota from Fort Myers and all that stuff. So it's been awesome. I've been loving it. Anyway, let's get it started so you can see what it looks like. You see it has all the digital stuff on there, which is pretty nice. Start it up here. The cool thing about it, I really love that it has a fuel gauge. The last bike I had was ancient, so it didn't have a fuel gauge and it was horrible. But you have a lot of different settings in here as far as like miles per gallon. You could see that as you're actively riding. See, I average 44. I usually chill on the bike as much as possible. I try not to be a douche. Typical sport bike riders are usually douches, but I've been trying to relax. I have my moments where I just want to rip this shit open because this bike has so much power. So it's fucking awesome. I've been loving it. See, like you can have it on the gears. I like it. I like to see the gears on there. But if you also switch to a different option, like if you wanted to stare at your miles per gallon or whatever like that, you'll see the actual, what gear you're on right there. So if I wanted to shift to neutral, so it'll pop up in there. Also, you have your light, of course. But I typically like to just stay on the actual digital notification. I like this here, and it also tells me what time it is, so I know I'm not running late for work or anything, and I need to speed up a little bit. So it's cool. As far as the feel of like the ride itself, it feels like I guess any typical sport bike. As far as like comfort, I feel really good on this thing. But then again, I have a lot of experience from my last Triumph. I had a Triumph 675, but that was a 2014. And I love the upright position. I love being able to see over cars most of the time. I can't see past this pickup truck right now, but when you're just cruising along and you're right behind another car, you could easily watch right over them, and that's the best part about it. When I was on my cruiser before, I had a Yamaha V-Star, and it was like a 2007, so it was ancient. So I had so many like issues. I was having to go to the mechanic like pretty much every month for different situations and all that stuff, so it was horrible. But in this case, I have a brand new bike, so I shouldn't be having any issues, and I haven't had a single issue since I've gotten it, so it's been amazing. Going back to like comfort, the one thing that I feel like is the problem with this bike, and it's probably a problem with like most sport bikes, is that you see how the bars are like kind of like slanted sideways. If you're used to cruisers, then you're used to it just being straight like this. But since we're kind of bent, it almost feels like I'm bending my arms like this. I don't know if you could see it properly in my GoPro like this, but that's what it feels like when I'm riding. And in order to be like really comfortable, you have to either be squeezing on the tank with your legs and just like very light on the bars, or you have to be holding it like I was just demonstrating. So yeah, it gets kind of uncomfortable for long rides. Like if I'm riding for more than an hour, it tends to be kind of painful. The thing I love the most about this bike is the power. I want to see if I can get around this pickup truck. I'm just going to wait for the traffic to kind of die down a bit. There is, actually there's nobody coming, so I can go ahead and do my thing. So I'm sitting at 6K RPM. This is perfect for just getting around. So you see, the power on this thing is fucking amazing. I love it. So usually the power band sits at about 5K. So that's why usually when I'm relaxing behind a car, I like to be between 4K and 5K. If I'm getting ready mentally to pass a car, I would sit at 5K. So you see, in this case, I'm on 5th gear, and I'm sitting at almost like 4K RPM, and you can see it right there digitally, which is awesome. So if I wanted to pass the car in front of me, I'm going to downshift, and then I'll go ahead and do my thing. But in this case, there's a lot of traffic up ahead, so I'm not trying to do all this crazy nonsense. but it's so cool having the ability to do that versus my last bike. My last bike had no fucking power at all, and it felt miserable to ride the thing, especially on the highway, because the key benefit of that bike was having a windshield, so I didn't really feel anything. But the problem is that the top speed was 90 on the thing. So in order to even reach 90 in the first place, you have to be like really cranking the throttle all the way, like open completely, just to get from 80 to 90. And yeah, that's not a good feeling. Where with this bike, if I was sitting at 80 miles an hour and I dropped it down to fifth and I just fucking opened that shit, forget it. This thing goes up to 120 like in a second. So it's a beautiful, beautiful ride, man. I just love having the power available at any time. But overall, I'm extremely impressed with this bike. I fucking love it. I highly recommend it. Comparing this to the 675, I kind of feel like this has more torque and more like raw acceleration power than the 675 had. But I don't know. Maybe I might be wrong about that, because I was still kind of a new rider when I had the 675. So I didn't really have the confidence to do all the stuff that I do now, if that makes any sense. I would love the opportunity to be able to go ahead and get on a 675 again and, try it out, but unfortunately that bike is just discontinued. As far as top speed goes, I've taken this to 135, and it seems like it caps around there. But of course, this also has to do with your weight. I'm a fat ass. I weigh 210 pounds, 220 the last time I weighed myself, so I'm a fat ass. So for me to go 135 miles an hour on this bike that quickly, because the torque is just so insane, is pretty fucking amazing, I gotta say. Another thing I forgot to mention is the mirrors. When you're holding on to the bars, there's a big section of the mirror that you can't see. You see how that truck is coming up behind me? The only way to like see what's happening behind you, you would basically have to move your hand like this, which is weird. So, I mean, obviously you should be paying attention to everything, but the thing is that when I'm on the front of a light like this, I like to be able to look behind me to see what's happening, because if somebody's rushing up behind me real fast, I'm going to get the fuck out of the way. I'm not going to fucking sit there like an idiot. So the same thing with if there's cars in front of you, I would typically stay like near the line, right in the middle there. So that way, if somebody does decide to not press their brake pedal, then I'm ready to lane split. So yeah, you always gotta be ready for that kind of shit. But anyway, I love this bike. It's a great bike. So yes, I super recommend it. Alright, let's do it. See, and I wasn't even like ripping that thing completely open right there. I was just like chilling with it. And you see the power on the fucking thing is absolutely amazing. I've started to grow attached to the sound. And this is stock exhaust. And when you open up the bike and you're on like high RPM, like it sounds beautiful. So at first I was thinking about, changing my exhaust and doing all that, but I decided not to. I think I was just going to keep it like this. The only thing I did is I did a fender eliminator, so I got a kit for that. But that was it. That was the only customization I've done so far. Everybody's braking because of the rain. I hope it doesn't rain for too long, man. Woo! Those lines, man. Those fucking lines. Yay, it stopped raining. Now I gotta air dry.